Hi, everybody. It's Dominic here. It's Sunday in London, and I'm about to read to you the blog that I've published today on the website in the usual way. If you're regular to this channel, you'll know what this is. I hope you enjoy listening to it. I hope you enjoy listening to it as much as I enjoyed experiencing this little story of the week from my world. So here we go. It's called Dear Dear. Could have been called many things, but there you go. And I'll read it to you now. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for coming to my channel. There you go. So let me just scroll up. To the Bingham River House this week for Sam's Supper Club, a boutique hotel abutting the River Thames in salubrious Richmond. A more rarefied location in London is harder to find. A beautiful Georgian townhouse built in the 1800s, the house became a literary hub as the home of Catherine Bradley and her niece Edith Cooper, lesbian lovers and joint writers under the pseudonym Michael Field. Field's poetry became popular throughout the world, and particularly in America, and other writers flocked to the tranquil venue, including W.B. Yeats, John Ruskin, and Browning in the early 1900s. This all sounds admiringly progressive, and yet the hotel had another reveal, which is even more inspiring, and I was very pleased to discover. On arriving unfashionably early, as is my way, and much to Paddy's disgust, a charming host of the hotel gave us an impromptu tour of the exquisite building with its roof terrace garden and stunning views to the river below. The house is really like no other, and just who gets to own such an extraordinary property, I wondered. Old money, surely. Some crusty old lord of the realm from back in the day, and how his ancestors must now count their good fortune and luck. Well, not a bit of it, as I discovered after asking my vulgar question. Who gets to own this place? 70 years after Michael Field was writing hers poetry, the building was purchased by a Mr. and Mrs. Trinder and developed into an hotel. One thing that is notable about Mrs. Trinder is that she came from nothing, and furthermore, she arrived in the United Kingdom with nothing from Kenya, an immigrant rags to riches success story. Mrs. Trinder is now 83 years old, and with her daughter is still actively involved in the running of the Bingham River House. She began her career as a nurse, first working for the Red Cross, and quickly branched out into care homes in London, and from which she made her fortune. A black woman from Kenya, surmounting all obstacles and enjoying her remarkable success. That's an inspiring story, surely. A manager of the hotel recognized me, and we got chatting about its literary history, which will need to be shortly updated because they've requested that I stage a book event for Takes on Life Volume 2, an evening which in time is likely to become woven into the fabric of this famous building and might even eclipse the works of the aforementioned literary giants. But leaving such delusions aside for something more tangible, the art of cooking and our reason for being at the Bingham. I asked Sam joining Vanessa Marks, a renowned chef from Cape Town, to feed a packed and expected dining room, including lots of Sam's friends and almost all of the Holland clan, including Granny Tess, Tom, and Paddy, with the exception of Harry, who was waylaid with a prior commitment. Oh, and Tess, the canine variety, also banished to our home. Such a shame, since venison was the main course, the animal which has tormented our beloved dog on her daily dog walks in the famous Richmond Park, just a decent drive and 9 iron away. And to prove that it is not just great minds that think alike. During our meal, Nikki and I, sitting opposite each other but too far away to chat, both of us had precisely the same idea. As lovely and successful as the evening was, the best part of the whole evening was hurrying home to give our little dog her little treats of venison that both Mr. and Mrs. H had squirreled away for her. She wolfed them down, swallowed them whole, and then licked the floor where they'd laid. A brilliant way to conclude a beautiful evening. There you go. So that's a little summary of a really exciting night in London. Good old Sam. It went really well. We were dead pleased for him. And I usually say at the end of the blog, this thing Takes on Life is accompanied with a book. The podcast is about to kick off. I'm recording 3 this week, and the book publishes on the 1st of May. So I hope you'll tune back in for that. You'll enjoy listening to an essay and the conversations that it inspires with guests, friends of mine, and people of, I think, the stories to tell. Not necessarily famous, just interesting people. So there we are, guys. That's another week in the life of Dominic Holland. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll now just end this stream. Thank you for listening or watching, and best wishes to you. Bye bye.